But speaking of things that are looking great, we gotta start with James Gunn because Gunn surprised us on two fronts. One, we got a Clayface trailer, a teaser trailer. Let me say it better, not a full trailer, it's a teaser trailer. And he actually may have had a hand in Coyote versus Acme. But before we get to Coyote versus Acme, we gotta show Clayface because again, this is one of those projects that again Gunn did not direct, he did not write. So let's just clear that out the air already. He did not write it, he did not direct it. He is just helping it get along on the actual DC film schedule. That being said, it is going to be a separate movie, although they did say it was going to be horror. And after watching this teaser trailer, I think they may have gotten it right. So again, trigger warning. This is a visual horror teaser trailer. You've been warned. Do you realize that you have the most beautiful And that, guys, was the teaser trailer for Clayface. As you can see, will be in October's building theaters October 23rd. So it makes sense for a horror movie to actually be closer to Halloween. It makes sense. But for a teaser trailer, I do want to see more. But this is probably the one time a horror movie that gets me that I honestly want to see what they do with it. We do know this is following the Matt Hagen Clayface. We do know that
I was literally about to ask that.
This actually, according to Gunn, this actually happens. Scrap. What I was gonna say. This happens before Batman. So it happens before Pattin's Batman. So he did answer those two questions as far as where we know. So this is this is the first time in a long time that movies that are being put out are out of sync. So we do know this is following Matt Hagen's character. We do know that it is going to show it because for all those that don't know, there are three versions of Clayface played by three different people in the DCU. But this is following Matt Hagen. I just gotta put it this way. I can't wait for the full trailer. This is probably going to be the problem with them showing a full trailer. You don't want to give away the movie. As of right now, it's all speculation. We don't know if this is going to be a standalone thing in a madness. We don't know if this is going to be, to where he eventually does become the villain and, Batman intercedes. We do not know if Robert Pattinson's Batman will be a part of this. We do not know that. Gunn has been very quiet about that. What do you say, Bam? I also think they should move Halloween the last week of October.
What?
I think Halloween the movie or Halloween as in the celebration, because October 31st is the. I'm hoping you mean the movie. Bama. But go ahead.
Two things I can see with this. First off, that very last scene where he just does this.
Yeah.
That's not Clayface. That is, right there.
Hang on. Go ahead.
Just let it be done. Yeah, right there. That's the question.
I'm not going to argue that.
I'm just looking at it like, no, that's the question. That's not Clayface. That's the question. Also, this comes out the week after Street Fighter, so...
Yeah, because Street Fighter comes out the 16th. That's going to be hard. Street Fighter comes out the 16th. It makes sense.
Or we combine them and make Clayface Clay Fighter 33 and a third.
You want to make Clay Fire into a horror movie?
No. I'm saying how we had Barbenheimer and
Oh,
Doomsday. We now have Clay Fighter.
oh, I see what you're saying. So make Street Fire. I got you.
It's also much better than Street Face. So,
I mean, not against that. Although I do like the fact that the whole thing of face on and face off, because they are really pushing it.
Wait,
What's wrong?
what Bama just said?
The celebration.
My dude, my Lord, brother, and Jesus Christ. Whatever you're drinking or smoking right now, please stop.
The fact he says, I think they should move Halloween to the last week of October. Bama, Halloween's on the 31st. That's the last week of October, sir. That's the last day of October.
Yeah, whatever you're drinking or smoking, we need you to stop.
The last Saturday in October. Again,
that's not how it works.
That's man, you're getting your wish. You are getting your wish. They are moving it to the last week of October. I don't know, Bam. I'm thinking I might be with Joe on this one. I think you might be drinking something. But no, I do like the visual horror of it. They are working with it, and it doesn't. And like I said, I'm afraid for the trailer. I'm afraid for the trailer if they do go with it. I hope they show as little as humanly possible, because don't get me wrong, I know Joe is the question, but the fact that he does this, I mean.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. And just the person that comes to mind does not come Clayface. It's the question. That's just on
I completely get where you're going on that one. It's just that the only thing I'm worried about is the trailer, because now you kind of have a problem, because like most trailers, you don't want to show all the movie, because if you do, most people are not going to go see it. At the same time, everybody's going to wonder what the movie's about. And honestly, I don't think it needs another trailer. I think that just needs to be this, and just wait till October.
I wonder how many homages we're going to get to the different Clayface episodes in Batman the Animated Series, because those are some really good stuff.
Yeah, although I think they should, but no. If this is what Gunn and Group and DC are doing, I'm not against it. I just want to see more of this, because, like I said, they're being very close to the chest about what this movie is going to be about. Outside of that, we know it's one of Batman's rogues. Outside of that, nothing. But that's honestly freaking perfect for this type of movie, because you don't want to give anything away to where it just takes away from the movie. So I know I definitely want to go see it come October. Joe, what say you?
Yeah, I'm not normally a horror guy, but I'll give it a shot. We'll see what it says, and we'll see what the ratings are, because I'm not a super gory person, so it'll just kind of depend.
Okay, fair enough. Well, with that also being said, because like I said, Gunn basically gave us two surprises. Clayface being one. What I didn't know about Coyote versus Acme until Tafari pointed it out was literally the end scene where the credits are showing. But yes, we do have a trailer for Coyote versus Acme, and if you haven't seen it, here it is.